First of all, very, very proud of our football team. It was, I keep talking about it, and you guys probably get bored with it, but our players are incredible. Our players are phenomenal. I wake up every single day thanking the Lord that I get to go be with them. Uh, it's a shame we only can practice 20 hours because I would have them over here Saturday, Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night. I mean, we just go on and on. It's just awesome to be around these guys. They fight, they push through adversity, they come out with their heads held high. Doesn't seem like anything affects us to the point where it did a year ago, and in the past. I'm going to share something with you real quick. So after our last game, we, of course, lost to Troy, and we come in that locker room. The first thing I said to those guys was, "So what? Now what? What are you going to do? You're going to drag ass? You're going to bow your heads and walk around, feeling sorry for yourself because we got our butts kicked and we made turnovers." And I really had never heard that "so what? Now what?" Until Coach Siriano got here, and he used it a couple of times in 2 days, and so I said it. And so this morning I wake up, and you read Twitter and some other stuff like that, and I follow this thing called I think it's the winning difference, whatever it is, and it says 10% of life is what happens, 90% of life is what you do about it. You got to respond in life. Things will go against you, and that's part of it. And the last thing I said today was, "So what? Now what?" And I said, "We're going to kick the crap out of them." I mean, I said that to myself. And I didn't mean it like that. I don't mean no disrespect to Marshall, but I was just like, it's on. It's on. I always believe there's signs. And when it said, "So what, now what?" I wrote it on that paper, and I shared it with those guys in pregame. I said, "I have no idea what it means, but we're going to play well tonight." And we did. And those guys are incredible. That's a good football team. I respect Coach Huff, and man, I thought I vote them in the top 25. I mean, they're a talented football team, and we just came out and it was an awesome job. The block punt, the block punt was a great call by Arquita Banks to go out there and block that thing. Just incredible. I think it's our first block punt in quite a while, huh?
10 years.
In 10 years. And I wasn't even here 10 years ago. So that's a good thing. Proud of our defense. We had a couple penalties right there that kept drives alive, to let them get some drives continuously going. But we overcome them, and we kind of got the calls there in the fourth quarter on the personal fouls and kind of help us put them away. But just proud of our guys.
Seems like the first drive was straight down the field, Granger with a big run. How important was that first drive after coming off the loss to Troy off the bye to get a touchdown first possession? It seemed like it set the tone for the rest of the contest.
I mean, we talk about starting fast every single day, every single second. That's what we talk about. And I want points on the board. We want points on the board. We want to come out the gates like, I've used we've got this term around here that we're drag racers. And we drag race. That first drive was quick now. It was go, 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 go. And you get up 7-0 that quickly, that does something to a team.
Not to compare this game to that game, but it felt like maybe that was the most consistent, complete running game you guys had. What did you feel is working with the blocking, with the running backs, and everything?
We just look for good looks, the good formations to run out of. Once we find the formation we feel like we can take advantage out of, we kind of stick with it. And it's a lot easier when your offensive line knows the defensive linemen, so they're going to be giving us out of that formation. You get familiar with the blocking scheme. You get familiar with their defensive linemen. You get familiar with the techniques and fundamentals it takes to run the football, and that's really what we did.
Coach, talk about Tylor Williams. 6 receptions, 129 yards, and especially his touchdown.
Tylor is probably one of the most improved players that we have on our team. He doesn't get enough touches, to be honest. He's explosive. A year ago, he was a little careless with the ball at times, and he has just gotten better. I'm a firm believer in Tyleek, and he's a guy that stayed the course, and that's what players are supposed to do. They're supposed to get better, and they're supposed to develop, year after year and day after day or whatever it is, continuously improve. And he's done an awesome job. I'm just thankful he carried that ball across the goal line, because had he not, I probably would be saying a lot other things about Tyleek right now than getting him the ball more.
Going to the second quarter, it seemed like Marshall was when they had the ball on offense, caused some confusion on the defensive end. You even had to call a timeout at a certain point. What were they doing to just cause that confusion? So you're shifting, getting players in and out a little bit late, but then you improved in the second half. So just what were the adjustments to kind of adjust to them?
Well, we have different packages for different personnel groupings, and sometimes it gets a little chaotic on our headsets. I'm a little chaotic on that headset. Sometimes I'm out of control, but in control, and I'm talking, they're talking, and then there's a lot of dialogue going on, and sometimes we don't get the right personnel in there, and we have to utilize the timeout. But that's what timeouts are for. Timeouts are for chaotic moments when you need to fix some things real quick before it happens. So I have no problem doing that. I would rather have the best personnel on the field than to go out there and waste a down with somebody we don't need out on the field, or a package that we don't need out on the field. So utilize those timeouts as we need it. So I'm glad you thought we improved in the second half. I appreciate that. And we'll try to improve next game for you.
Some of those plays in the first half where Fancher was escaping a little bit turned into sacks in the third and fourth quarter.
I just felt, and I say it all the time, some quarterbacks, if you keep them in the pocket, it's way more beneficial for these guys. And there was at times we were rushing out of our lanes, and he was stepping up, and he was making some plays with his feet, and he's a dangerous quarterback and a good player, and he's played really well for those guys this year. And so we just had to adjust it. Some of our rushes weren't so far upfield where we could counter back and get some of the sacks there and not let him escape. But he's a tough quarterback. It's just they got a good offensive line. So credit our guys for getting to him. And the coverage. You got to have coverage to get these sacks. It's not like we're blowing by their offensive tackles. I mean, we've got to stay in coverage and let these guys rally to the quarterback.
What did you say about the response you guys made after they cut the lead to 3 points?
Let me tell you what, I don't even want to talk about that. I mean, I can't even believe it. That touchdown, it was crazy. But it's just, I talk about the adversity that maybe a year ago we would have dragged our heads a little bit and hung and let it kind of take more of an effect on our football team than what it has this year. And our guys don't even blink. It's like, okay, like I said, so what, now what? They got to score, so what, now what? What are we going to do? Go score. We're going to go answer.
And it seemed like after the kid got the roughing the punter, you guys, that's when you just kind of took over. There was a stumble, you guys took advantage of it.
It's just like anything else, Those are tough. I mean, a 15-yard penalty and you get a first down, it's a big play, huge play. And I'd just gotten on Cade earlier about, he hit him punt. We had a pooch punt scenario, and I think he pooched it to the 20-yard line. I was like, golly, what are you going to do? Then he gets that one. He doesn't get it, but they roughed him, and I brought him over, and I kind of laughed. And I said, hey, I don't know if you had any effect on that, but I appreciate you taking the roughing for us. We'll get you in the training room this week.
And this was a game where being the better special teams team mattered in the game. So with the emphasis you tried to put on it, how does it feel to have a game swing so much on those two plays?
It's unbelievable. I mean, Arquita Banks does a nice job. He works really extremely hard, and we're just starting to really see the benefits of how hard he's worked and the effort that he puts into these scenarios, these plays. The block punt right there, the roughing was, of course, just happened. But he does a nice job with our special teams. We're going to continuously improve in that area and continuously working on it. We're going to try to keep that doggone plus in that special teams. We call it the we fence around here.
And then on that block, it was a freshman who blocked it and the freshman who got the recovery for the touchdown. Just two young guys making the most of their reps.
I don't know. We talk about that. I said, it may not be your day yesterday, but maybe it's your day today, and maybe your play today. Maybe it be your play the next play. You never know when your time is going to be called. You have no idea at what moment it's going to present itself, and you got to take control of it and go make the most of it. And those guys did. That's an incredible play.
And I guess on the other side of that, Isaiah has been starting at corner the last 2 games, the same kind of thing. And, missing the starting corner hasn't really shown on the field. He's been stepping up.
Development. And these players behind them got to develop. It's a game of football, it's a physical game. You can lose a player in a heartbeat. And so what? Now what? Next guy.
Now you have now you go to Louisiana next week. You're still in contention in conference championship race. Just thoughts on that. I know you have to stuff. You're still figuring out this matchup, but just going to Louisiana. Initial thoughts on that. Anyway.
I really don't have any thoughts on it. To be honest with you, I'm going to go celebrate this thing till about 10 o'clock in the morning. Well, probably not. I'm probably just a little bit tonight, and then I'll turn my attention to Louisiana. These wins are hard to come by. There's a lot of coaches that they just grind and they don't enjoy the moments, and hey, that's not me. I'm going to go enjoy the moment. We're going to celebrate this win, and I'll wake up and start worrying about Louisiana tomorrow.
It's still been since the opener that you gave up 30 points in a game. Do you take pride in that? You're able to get that stop at the end, still keep it at 24 and keep it under 30 again?
I just told him, I said, listen, I give out bonuses, so you keep them under there, and the bigger the bonus.